Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer. Today I'm out looking for smugglers and Coastguard cottages. I'm at Seaford Head, and behind me you can just see the valley of the Cuckmere Valley with the river Cuckmere coming down to the coast in East Sussex, down on the south coast of England. With me on our special walk is Martin Snow. Hello Martin.
Hello Richard again.
We're out for another one.
Yeah, it's a lovely day as well.
It's a beautiful Sunday early in the morning. And we're going to head, where are we heading? This way?
Yes, down this way to the
Coastguard cottages. These are iconic, aren't they?
Yes.
That's the only way you can really describe them.
Almost everyone in the world must have seen a photograph of the Seven Sisters with the Coastguard cottages in them.
So Martin, Coastguards, the cottages, they've been here since about 1780, is that right?
Something like that, yes.
And this area here with the Seven Sisters and Cuckmere Haven has been a place notorious for smuggling throughout history, but in particular when people like the Hawkhurst gang were operating, 200, 300 men allegedly on the beaches,
bringing
the contraband from abroad. It was quite an amazing thought to think that so many people, local people, were willingly.
Oh, very much involved. I mean, it supplemented their rural.
Their income, didn't it? Absolutely.
Yes.
And of course the squires, the village squire.
Allegedly, everyone was involved.
Everyone, including the justices
and the vicar.
And the vicar, you know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and bits and bobs were left, by their back door in the middle of the night. As long as they weren't implicated and they were shown to be innocent from the outside, down here on these. On the invasion coast, as it's known, all sorts of stuff would have been brought in, and they would have turned a bit of a blind eye, and quite reluctant, some of the judges, to actually take them, to convict them or bring them to court.
Yeah. Well, it's the taxes were considered unreasonable. But then we all consider taxes unreasonable, I think.
It's true. So what type of stuff was being brought in? Things like tea, rum, port, wine, lace, high quality.
High quality that they could make that wasn't available in this country.
And also the other thing that I think people forget is not only was stuff being smuggled in, but of course wool particularly was being smuggled out.
Yes. I mean there was very high duty on wool going out because it was our wool was in high demand.
Yes, absolutely. So and the coastal cottages that we're going to see, or the Coastguard cottages I should say, that we're going to see, which are just down here, iconic in their look. I mean they're not actually Coastguard cottages these days, they're private dwellings.
They're
now.
Private homes, that's right.
But originally, why did they build them here?
Well, because it's a very remote place, which is why it was, shall we say, popular with the smugglers.
Yes.
So they built them here as a deterrent.
And of course, the coastguards were able, and the contraband men were able to ride up along the seashore, up here on these wonderful cliffs. If I just turn around so you get another view of the cliffs behind me, and actually over here that you can see the sea, and we'll see more of that in a second when we get down, and then this wonderful valley, the view of the valley over here, where they would have maybe in the dead of night, well certainly in the dead of night, wandered with their horses and donkeys and laden with all the stuff, and mysteriously disappeared.
That's right. I think you'd have wanted a bit of moonlight to do it.
Yes.
Hence the expression moonlighting.
Yes, because
otherwise, because
when the tide is in,
is black.
Yes, there's nothing to show,
nothing.
And also this was quite swampy area, wasn't it, down there?
Yes.
Back in the 18th century.
That's right. There wasn't the same control, and it was before the meanders were bypassed. the valley.
And now you mentioned the meanders. What do you call the meanders?
Well, the meanders in the lower parts of a river or a stream, the gradient reduces and the water tends to meander across the valley,
Right.
rather than rushing at high speed as it does in the higher stretches.
So
of
as
the
it
river.
slowly lowers in height, it's meandering around, causing its own little channels.
That's
Is that
right.
what you're
yes,
saying?
Yeah.
So here are the cottages, and there's basically, how many are there? There's 4. Is there 4 units?
I can't remember if it's 4 or 6.
Right.
It looks here as if they've been knocked together.
So this is something that we should mention actually. The Coastguard Cottages, they're perched on the edge, well, not so much on the edge originally, but they are pretty much on the edge now. And over the years, sort of 200 odd years, the erosion from the sea hitting the chalk, because chalk is a very crumbly substance,
Yes.
has slowly eroded away. And if we just have a look at this one here, which is a particularly interesting because it's got that weatherboard on the front. It's got tiles on the roof instead of slate, but it looks, I guess, pretty much as it would have looked back in the day. Quite a number of chimneys there to keep the place warm, which I imagine on the seafront here.
Yeah, in winter, I imagine it's pretty bitter.
Pretty bitter.
And it was probably more than one cottage originally.
Yes. So quite a number of people were stationed here. You know, I mean, you think.
Oh,
of
there'd be a good number. Yeah, because you
needed that force.
for that force. It's no good just having one man and his dog. That's not going to put anyone off.
No, that's true. And if they had to suddenly launch out, and of course they were, the dragoons were fairly nearby, if I remember right. At least
Yes,
they
they could be summoned and come.
Because communications back in the 1780s was not terribly quick, so somebody would have to leap off into action.
Either run or get on a horse to get there.
This is the stunning view as we get closer now to the beach, and the tide is out, but the Seven Sisters there, or the beginning of the Seven Sisters at least, you get this terrific view from the sea, which obviously we're not going to swim out to do.
I think not.
And over here we can see, you could get an idea of how the cottages are perched pretty much on the edge of the precipice. We'll go down and see just how close they are and the state of the erosion. We're just coming round now to the bottom, and you'll see just how what's the word I'm looking for? Precipitous. No.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. That's the word I'm looking for. How dangerous.
Trying to look at the camera and not where
Yes.
your feet are going.
Well, it's all, as you can see down here. The landscape is a bit pebbly and rocky and slimy with seaweed, but there, perched on, if we just go a little further, Martin, you can see the defence wall, and that was erected, what, in the 50s, did you say?
I think possibly that one was. It certainly saved it. I'm sure if that wasn't there,
Right.
the sea would be much further in.
It would be much further in, and I know you said that they used to have gardens, so the whole area would have jutted out, and you can see the chalk and the, what did you call the other stuff on the top?
It's sand and clay,
Yes.
tertiary deposits that were laid down later on top of the chalk.
So this one, particularly the end one, is at more risk than the others, but
More immediate risk.
more
yes.
immediate risk. But you know, ultimately, the sea is probably going to win.
Well, it's going to win eventually.
Yeah.
But you always hope not in my lifetime. Maybe,
Well,
maybe that's slightly cynical. But
Well, I was going to say, not in the lifetime of the residents.
that's
up there.
what I meant. Yeah,
Absolutely.
They say, well, yeah. So as long as I can pass it on.
Yeah.
Um,
Inheritance must be a problem, because whoever inherits that is inheriting the problem of trying to keep it safe.
That's right.
Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our little meander down to the Coastguard Cottages here at the Seven Sisters at Cuckmere Haven. Do come down if you're ever in the area and check it out. Thank you, Martin, for another wonderful walk. We'll be presenting some more walks from this area, so keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, press the bell notification, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.
Until the next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Where do we go now?
I think we're going for a swim.
Ah, yes, brilliant. It's a long way out.
It is a long way out, but you know.